Okay, so here we are on this historic restoration up on the scaffold. So your view is, you're up about 15 feet off the ground right here. But I wanted to show you this window. This window was installed when there was a second layer of metal siding on the home. Now let me show you something here. You see this C channel right here? And you can see that the metal siding fit into here, which is over all of the historic siding. When this window was installed, it was installed much further out of the substrate than what it should have been normally. So now what we have to do is we have to take all of this off. We have to cut back all of these filler strips that they put in and create a new type of trim to go around this. This is a very oddball circumstance. The point is that these windows could have been installed properly, but since they weren't, we have to go in and fix it. And I wanted to show you this because if it was done properly to begin with, it would have saved a lot of time and energy and money as people remodel their homes later on in the process. But I want to show you what we had to do here. If you remember where that C channel was, that's gone now. We've taken away all of this wood that was sticking out here, got it back to the surface, back to the wall where it needs to be. We've applied this Vicor. Of course, we've cut the shingles back where it needs to be. And we'll have another trim overlaid on top of this in order to make it look to come out past the edge of the shingles here. This is what we would have to do to make it look right. Okay, so here we are down on a historic restoration. Oftentimes at Westbrook Restorations, what we do is we'll set up a shop on site. This is where we can manufacture a lot of the custom components on site to help save time. Come on in a little bit closer and let me show you where we're at with this thing. We have our table saw set up here. You can see we've got some tents set up, so no matter whether it's raining, we're out of the weather. We've got a spray booth set up here for pre-priming all of our trim. We like to pre-prime everything before we put it in. We've got our cut-off saw table set up, and a lot of space in here for material storage, as well as for sanding and doing some of those other components as well. So I want you to notice that here I have the table saw set up. Here is our for that window we're working on out back. We've got our exterior sill, which we have already custom made. I need to rip this down. That's what's going to get installed next on the back window, and we'll show you a little bit more in a minute. Okay, so here we are up on the scaffolding. Here is our exterior sill that we have manufactured. We've already located our screws. I want to point something out here. This window obviously was not installed correctly. I have this piece underneath the window here that is not correct, that I'll have to mull this sill to. What we've done is we've done a full trowel Sikaflex to do two things: to create a waterproofing system as well as an adhesion system when this gets installed. There's no way for me to do this properly without taking this window out. And let me show you something else. Take a look at this line of this window, and this window comes up 3/8 of an inch. So it's extremely difficult for me to be able to give an exact price on some of these things because the labor involved in having to fix a window like this when it's not even lined up correctly with itself. So it's something I want to point out. It creates a lot of extra labor for us. It can be fixed. Okay, so the difference in the window that we saw here, we actually had to put a strip in right here to make up the difference. And again, we've got a full trowel caulk behind that. Okay, as you also know, with Westbrook Restorations, we pre-prime all of our end cuts, and we also pre-prime a lot of our material, including the back and the front, as we go. It's a proven fact that it actually prolongs, it creates longevity in all of your joinery, and I've seen personally, firsthand, over all of the years, where the first part of a decay happens is always in a joint. So I always pre-prime the joints. Okay, so we're way up here in the sky on the ladders, just finalizing some things. You've seen some shingles we have rewoven on the south-facing side of this historic home. We finished the window that we've been talking about here. Our head flashing, the flashing in between, all of our back hulking, all of our custom manufactured trim here. It goes back into the wall and it's completely waterproof. And you can also see that we're quite high here. And if you want to pan down, you can see that we have our plastic down on the ground, and it's catching all of our debris. And of course, that's a finish on this side. This took us about 2 days. One of the worst installs I've ever seen of a window, but we managed to fix it, and it will be waterproof for many years to come. And so in the spring, the owners can paint this, and it'll actually turn out to look really great. See you on the next one.